Hello and welcome back to more Let's Play Tokyo Dark. In the previous episode, we finally got caught up to where we were before I had to restart the game. Um, we essentially helped the three girls with their problems to get information on the collector. And now that we've finished those, we should be able to go back and see that the three cranes in the elevator have made their way into the door, and we should be able to go down the elevator. That's it, 3 paper cranes. The button on the elevator are lit up now. So let's talk to the collector. This doesn't seem right. Doesn't match the descriptions I got at all. What's that? Who's there? Anna? Is that you? Huh? Who's there? Look around you. Interesting, isn't it? It said the cranes can grant a wish. What is it you wish for? Humph. Never one to believe in wishes. Are you him, the collector? Collector Crow, one of many names given to me over the years. Ah, but we've no time to waste on such boring, trivial things as introductions. Don't you want to know who I am? Oh, I know who you are, Detective Ito. Should I say investigator? So hard to keep straight. Suppose it's irrelevant what you call yourself now, as you've arrived exactly where you need to be. Something's different. Yes. What is it, I wonder? Ah, that's it. You're like me, after a fashion. You see things differently from those around you. The world is not so solid and unchanging as it is for them. Things bend, they break. Am I wrong? No, nothing's been the same since Kamakura. Yes, of course. The girl you murdered, Reina. Was that your fault? She gave me no choice. Of course it wasn't. I never meant to. Something made me. You are a puppet, dancing at the end of your strings to a tune you cannot hear. No, that's not what I said. I'm no one's puppet. Are you so sure, Detective? Do you really feel like everything you've done is under your control? Is it about to, break the fourth wall? Is it, almost like someone's pointing and clicking your whole decisions? Or even your text choices yours? What do you mean, text choices? Haha! When faced with the impossible, you're so certain that every choice you make is your own. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're made for me. Which is easier, I wonder? The knowledge that the cause of all your suffering and your joy is your own doing, or someone else's? No time for this. Ah, of course, our conversation is tilted towards the philosophical. You are not here for philosophy. You want something more tangible. Want information, facts. Oh, it is my business to know what people desire. That is not what you seek. What is it you want, truly? Tanaka. I want to know what really happened to him. No, it's not only that. I want to know what's happening to me, too. Nothing makes sense anymore. I'm tired of chasing after clues that lead to dead ends. To be fair, you didn't really start investigating too much yet. You've not really reached any dead ends. You started off at a dead end, but I don't know. Perhaps I could be of some help to you. But first, please indulge me. I have a few questions. Curious, so curious. You're such a unique visitor, after all. Yes, nothing like the others. Fine, what do you want to know? On the night of your partner's disappearance, you found your way into the sewer using a man. Why him? He was an idiot, the hostess wasn't helpful, a witness saw him. Witness placed him at that sewer, why not go directly to the source? What is this, some sort of psych test? Came here for answers, enough with the games. It's no game, detective. I'll give you what you seek. This is my price. That's it? If you wanted information to use against me, seems you've already got enough. Blackmail? How pedestrian, simplistic. No. I have no interest in that. What do you want? Everything I collect brings me closer to an understanding, much like you. Only the puzzle I assemble is considerably larger. The piece you provide is well worth the trouble. Shall we continue? Do I have a choice? Already made it. You show such little patience, Detective. Surprising considering the effort you took to get here. Girl, Reina. She's the one you've been chasing, yes? Let's talk about her. Why didn't you shoot her again in the sewer? She was holding your dear Tanaka at knife point. Why didn't you pull the trigger? To keep her talking, I didn't want to hurt anyone. I should have. She didn't deserve it. I didn't want to hurt anyone. Maybe for a police officer it sounds soft, but I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Even with Tanaka at the end of a knife, I thought it might end peacefully. Interesting. Most interesting. Though she's gone, the sleepless nights continue, don't they? You've taken your pills twice. Is that enough to make a difference? Do they help? Does it not make you question the futility of it all? Most interesting. Perhaps you've told me enough. Yes, this is most useful. I accept this trade. Return you want... What was it? Ah, yes, that's right. A path. A way forward. I suppose it's your turn to ask questions now. Where is Tanaka? Is he alive? In the dark. Whether he lives, that is more difficult. Dark. That's not the first time I've heard that. What is it? Where can I find it? The better question is, where can it not be found? Do you not feel it around you? Following you at every turn? It pays great mind to those who, within its walls. You know of whom I speak. The common thread that binds all the misery in your heart. Reina. That's where she is. Tanaka must be there too. Girl's thread is a complicated one. Yes, very tangled. Begins in Kabukicho, and a talent agency called Omega. Kabukicho. I know it well enough. So I imagine any officer of the law would. Dark is a sacred place. It lives and breathes, changes shape, and goes where it pleases. And it is the girl whose suffering determines its shape. Without understanding its root, you will never find your way. Or it could tear you apart. It almost has already. Okay, the mask. Oh, I guess while we're here... I don't see any lucky cat emblems, so we'll go ahead and ask about the mask. I don't need to know what he is in order to solve this mystery, so I'm not going to waste any chances at more information. You gotta ask the right questions, after all. I don't know why, but I get the hunch that you'll know what this is. What is it? Reina was obsessed with it. Must be important. I can't figure it out. Ah, I see. Most interesting relic. Makes people do the most fascinating things. Why did Reina want it so badly? It's a tool. Instead of living in fear of it, why not use it? Maybe the key that will help you find your precious Tanaka. Though as powerful as it is, one cannot expect to use it knowing nothing about it. You said it yourself, it all started in Kamakura. The Kawanas have quite a history with that mask. Kawanas? My shrine maiden girl? Grandmother was the one who gave it to me. Very same. Gives me the creeps. Maybe I should have gotten rid of it. Don't do that. Never find your way without it. What are you? Dressmaker, cat breeder, blackmailer? Seems that no one in this town can agree on anything about you, except your name. There's no way anyone could know what you do. It's impossible. So what are you? Take a look around you. Is it not familiar? You gotta smell it. The stench of corruption. Been here for so long, longer than you can imagine. Feeling the desires, the loves, the hatred of mankind flows through this place. For you, detective, I am exactly who you need me to be. Now, shall we return our attention to the matter at hand? Your trade, after all, was not for the knowledge of how I fit into your story. For a way to clear the... how do you put it? Clear the dead ends you run up against. Just reconsider your problem. Mask and the dark are inexorably linked. Pursuing one without the other is futile. Now, you are an enemy of the dark. It will reject you without understanding it. You will be lost without the necessary tool. How will I know when a path's been opened? Your puppet master. My end of the bargain has been upheld. You seem awfully eager to help me. What's the catch? Something tells me I'm going to regret talking to you. Paranoia, an unnecessary feeling. As I said, people fascinate me, especially ones as unique as yourself. You are a detective. I'm only giving you the tools you need to finish the job. From there, now that is an interesting part. I look forward to seeing your progress. Consider your debt to me partially repaid. The rest I shall collect at another time. Tell me, my little puppet. You can see your strings. Does your dance not continue? Till we meet again. Fair enough. I suppose we shall leave. A very interesting conversation. But it does lead me to my next area. We could either go talk to the Kawanas back in Shinjuku, or not Shinjuku, Kamakura, or we could go to Kabukicho to find out about Omega. There, the collector's basement was stagnant and heavy. If I had stayed any longer, I felt that it might have suffocated me. At the time I was there, Akihabara faded away into a distant memory. I returned to the surface, put my hand up to shield my eyes from the sunlight, listened to the people on the street. The conversations seemed so pointless, part of a world that I no longer belonged to. Busy sounds of the street swept the cobwebs from my mind, forcing me to remember everything I told the collector, everything he impossibly knew. I told him so much, but did I have a choice? Maybe he was right, I was a puppet after all. At that moment, it didn't matter. Dark and the Mask both belonged to a world I was now part of. Normal methods of investigation wouldn't lead me to them. Countless paths were narrowed to two, and I had no choice but to march forward towards the leads I'd been given. As I left Akihabara behind, one thing bothered me. How did the collector know so much about me? Was I really so easy to read? He knew how many pills you had taken so far during the game. Like, he would have to have cameras in your house to know that information. That's wild. I didn't have time to dwell on it. Kazuki and Reina were in the dark. That much had to all but been confirmed. I now had a means, however impossible, to find them. Two paths, the mask and the dark. Both were necessary. I had to make a choice of which to follow first. Chased after a talent agency in Tokyo's red light district, we're back to Kamakura to visit Mai, the girl I nearly got killed. Neither seemed very appealing. My logical side didn't understand how either would help, but as everything around me cracked and crumbled away, logic didn't matter anymore. I had to choose. Maybe something would choose for me. Well, Kamakura or Kabukiko? Guess we'll ask about the mask first. Because we have to understand the mask before we're able to do anything with the dark. Because even if I learned anything about the dark, I'd have to know how to get the mask to work for me to travel into that area. Came here to find out about the mask, but there's something I've got to do first. 6 months ago, I sent one girl to the morgue and very nearly killed another. Since then, I thought of coming here to apologize to Mai Kawana countless times, but couldn't will myself to see her and be faced with my failure. Think of that fear and hurt in her eyes, and I feel nothing but shame. For my own peace of mind, I need to tell her the truth about that day, about how I lost control. Hopefully she can find it in herself to forgive me enough to help me with my investigation of the mask. Wait, it's fall. Why are the cherry blossoms blooming? Like nothing changed since that day. I thought I saw a cat statue right here. I guess I was wrong. Ooh. Oh, it's, you. Reading the papers and I, saw your picture. And then I saw that picture on the TV news. Maybe the Seven Chan message boards, that's where I looked you up. Sorry, I was curious. I remembered meeting you and couldn't believe it. Like I met a celebrity or something. Oh, of course it's not good or anything, but you know, you never know who you'll meet in this business. Everyone always seems so unassuming. I mean, that's not to say any of it was your fault or anything. Okay, so the message boards are pretty bad. There's a lot of bad stuff on there. Like, wow. Pretty, wild stuff. You done? Oh, right. Sorry, yes. Hello again. Leave Kamakura? No. Cherry blossoms? What's going on with the weather here? It's fall. Why are the cherry blossoms out? It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a species of cherry tree, the Pernulus autumnalis, that sometimes blooms twice a year. At least that's what it says online. Who'd have thought we'd have them here in Kamakura? Well, I say Kamakura. They only seem to be in this part of town. Lucky, huh? Cherry blossom tree that blooms in fall. Never seen it. Sure you've got your facts straight? Seems impossible. Impossible? Do you doubt my botany expertise? Possible would be if the seasons started reversing themselves, don't you think? Yeah, it certainly feels that way. You say something? Why the glum face? Anyway, I hope you take advantage of the weather and go for a picnic or something. Blossoms are so peaceful. Don't they put your mind at ease? Alright, I can ask about Mai. I'm looking for Mai Kawana. Have you seen her? No, you're looking for Mai again, huh? Sure that's such a good idea? She was pretty upset about the happenings the last time you were here. And I've barely seen her leave Kamakura since then. Maybe it's best you leave her alone. Important I talk to her. Or she'd be at the shrine that's down the street. Like usual. Mai is very important to this town. Please don't upset her too much. We all want everything to go back to normal. Is Mai's grandmother still at the house near here? You want to see her? She is still around, I suppose. See the comings and goings of all the people around here. See her getting out much, though. Oh yes, that reminds me. When you were here last here in April, did she, I don't know, give you something? I'm not accusing you, of course, I just heard that there was an important artifact that went missing last spring. Luana's old and losing her faculties a bit. Maybe she gave it to you by mistake. Do you remember anything like that? Sorry, I don't. I don't think I should be telling anyone about the mask. Oh, I see. I'm sure it will turn up. I really don't feel like I should be talking about the mask really to anyone. It's, you know, a whole thing. Although if I came here looking for the mask, maybe I should have mentioned it. Alright, so before I talk to the grandmother, I should really probably talk to Mai and apologize. Cherry blossoms fell gently at my feet as I approached the Kawana family shrine. In front of me was Mai Kawana, still dressed in the outfit of the shrine maiden. She had seen me approach and stood there frozen and terrified, the same helpless look on her face as when she had a knife to her throat months before. This time it was me she was terrified of. We were the only two people at the shrine, yet I couldn't shake the feeling of being followed. Familiar presence watching me from the shadows. No, I am not going to kill her. No. No. What the fuck? No. No. What? No, I won't do it. Why now? Why her? I have to do what you say. Not a puppet. And choose. You, the detective from before? Or are you just standing there? Is it over? I'm fine. Sorry to scare you. I'm here to talk to you. See, I've never been good at apologies. I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I've been meaning to talk to you ever since that day. I should have come sooner. Here to apologize now? I didn't hear from anyone in 6 months. The police only talked to me once, and then everyone here started avoiding me and acting like it never happened. Guess that makes me the last person you'd want to see now. After that day, I'm sure some police came by and told you that I was only following procedure, but that's bull. Police in this country don't go around shooting people. I didn't feel myself and lost control, putting you at risk. Sounds vague to say I lost control at such a crucial time, I bet. But that's the truth. Truth. Strange, isn't it? Cherry blossoms, I mean. It's silly, but every time someone comes here and says how beautiful they are, I get so mad. It's like they don't understand my feelings at all. But that's selfish, huh? It's not like I want everyone to suffer along with me. I imagine the only other one who understands that is you, Detective. Your name's Ito, right? It's so quiet here. It's hard to imagine something like that the day in April really happened and a place so peaceful. But it did. I know that you and your partner were only doing what you could to save me, but I wish I could have helped. I felt so helpless. At least you told me the truth, thank you. No, I asked Grandma about the mask the redheaded girl was after, and she denied knowing anything. It was a lie. I found one of her old journals at the shrine, and she wrote that the mask was important and had to be hidden away. Why would she lie to me? I'm sick of everyone always trying to protect me by covering everything up. Grandma hasn't been the same since that day either. She shuts herself up in that old house and mumbles to herself about darkness and purity. So worried about her. My gut tells me that the mask has something to do with it. I'm sorry, listen to me rambling away. But you don't care about any of that. Truth is, I think you're right about the mask having something to do with all that strangeness. I actually came here to ask about it. Think so too? Let me help you. I don't know anything about, but maybe Takashi does. Oh, sorry, Takashi's my brother. He used to live here in Kamakura with me and Grandma, but he left first chance he got. I talk on the phone all the time, but he refuses to come back and visit. I get the feeling he knows something I don't. He won't even tell me about how my parents died. Where does your brother live now? He's an instructor at the Kendo Dojo in Asakusa in Tokyo. I heard he's a big shot in the Kendo world. Sounds like he'd be a good place to start. Think he'll speak to me? You could try. He's never been very good at opening up to strangers, though. Worth a shot. Thanks for helping me, Mai. I was honestly getting real worried that it was going to have me kill her. I was just like, oh, why? Why in the heck would it even? I'm doing a quick once over. I don't see any cats, so I think I'll go ahead and just leave. I was looking for cat statues. I guess real quick we could see if we can talk to the grandmother, or whether or not she's even willing to come out of her house to talk. Go away, no visitors. Fair enough. Try one more time. Yeah, okay. I don't think she'll come out. That's fair. Alright, I wish to leave. Alright, next stop should definitely... So we could either go to Asakusa to figure out more about the Mask of Kicho, which... Asakusa, the home of Sensoji, one of the most famous temples in Tokyo. It's also a bustling entertainment district. It remains a pocket of traditional culture surrounded by the city's high-rises. I suppose we'll start there, since we're already in the middle of investigating the mask. My investigation up to the point led me to believe that finding Takashi Kawana would be difficult and convoluted. That couldn't be farther from the truth. Turns out his Kendo Dojo was well regarded as a popular training spot for a few national champions, and several of the city's police officers. The latter made me nervous. The information I was asking for was sensitive. I didn't want word of my investigation finding its way back to HQ. A few misfired questions could end up with the officers knocking at my door. Or worse, Yukimura himself calling me up. I had to be cautious. Keep an eye out for any of the Lucky Cat statues while we're here. I think it would be funny if I got the cat ending, is all. Inside is the interior of a traditional tea shop. Doesn't look like anyone's been there recently. Fair enough. Oh, cat. Buy octopus balls. Don't have a reason to right now. We're busy, so we'll just continue going. Tourists, likely. You can hear them speaking English. My English isn't so great, so I doubt they'll be of much help, but I wonder what they're talking about. You can listen. Hello there, is there something we can help you with? I don't speak Japanese. Your Japanese is perfect. As a college professor, it wasn't, I'd probably be out of job. I'm no college professor, but I work in a Japanese software company. I'd be in a bit of trouble too. Don't look at me, I just live here. Not in Tokyo. Suburbs. Oh, I think you guys might speak Japanese better than I do. I mean, sorry, I just, never would have thought. Would you prefer to speak in English instead? No, I mean, no, please, Japanese is fine. Sorry, I wasn't meaning to be nosy. Guess I don't see people wearing yukata this late in the year. Is there a festival or something? No, we come to Asakusa every year, and the yukata become part of the tradition after a while. Guess it makes us stand out more than we already do, huh? I'm not tradition, Tony. Admittedly, my legs are a little cold, though. Ask about Takashi's dojo. You guys come here every year? You must know the area pretty well by now. Looking for a kendo dojo where Takashi Kawana works? It should be in this area. Kawana? Why does that name seem so familiar? Oh right, he's the kendo instructor at the dojo right behind us. People say he's some kind of prodigy. I wouldn't be surprised if he became a master in time. Supposedly he's very particular about who he trains. I suppose he doesn't want to waste his time with people who aren't serious. Makes sense when you think about it. How good he is, he must get a ton of wannabe kendo masters coming to him. Seems like he trains a lot of police too. The time we've been standing here, we've seen a few come in and out. All that, I think he's still in his 20s. For someone so young, he must be under a lot of pressure. No kidding. I've heard talk of it. Interdepartmental kendo tournament. It's become a matter of pride for the different regional departments. Wish my work did martial art competitions between departments. Nothing would work out the unspoken tension between me and my boss quite like a good smack to the jawline. Police fighting each other, huh? That must be pretty brutal. I mean, I guess police in Japan don't really have to use force all that much, though. Yeah, anyway. How do you know so much about the dojo anyway? I mean, I live in Shinagawa, and I don't know anything about that specific about it. See, it says so right here in the dojo's flyer. He was out here 10 minutes before you came handing them out. Time seemed like a little prickly, so we didn't talk to him, though. I admit it would have been much cooler if we'd known that off the top of our head. But we're glad we were able to help you regardless. It makes me feel a little silly now trying to learn more about him from a flyer. Considering he trains so many police, I'm surprised I never heard of him until now. Are you associated with the police somehow? Well, me, no, of course not. I'm an investigator, see, like a private detective. Listen, if anyone comes by asking about a female detective, just, sorry, I don't speak Japanese, right? Exactly, I appreciate it. Anyway, I should get going. Sorry to bother you, thanks for the information, guys. Our pleasure, good luck at the dojo. Let us know if you learn any kendo tricks. Men in the apartment always puffed out their chests when they talked about the kendo competitions like it was going to impress me or something. Never paid it much attention. Still, it's strange that someone related, however faintly to the mask, is yet another tie to my old life. Takashi Kawana seems like an interesting guy, very serious and not keen on strangers. At least I didn't have to use my English. That would have been a disaster. And it's actually been just about 30 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. So in the next episode, we'll go ahead and track down Mr. Kawana and see what information he can give us. But until then, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. So, see you all then.